fire originated near the town southwest of Mount Holbrook and is burning north and east adjacent to the areas of Buffalo Pass and Hallelujah Junction. While the Nevada Supreme Court is giving a convicted tech vendor a second chance to prove his innocence, a new trial for Jason Dow is scheduled to start February 2nd.
In January 2019, Jason Dow was sentenced to 37 years to life in prison by 25th District Court Judge Robert Rainey. That followed a trial in which a jury found him guilty of several charges, including statutory sexual seduction, incest, child abuse and neglect, rudeness with a child under 14, and unlawful use of a minor in producing pornography or as the subject of a sexual portrayal in a performance. Monday, Dow was back in district court to set a date for a new trial. Dow appealed his conviction to the Nevada Supreme Court. He and his attorney, Jonathan Nelson, argued that during his original trial, the district court abused its discretion in several ways, including restricting his cross-examination of the state's primary witness regarding potential bias. At trial, Dow tried to question then Detective David Berukowitz about the county settlement of a lawsuit Dow had brought against the county. In testimony, Sheriff Sharon Woodley said Berukowitz was involved in the wrongdoing leading to the settlement. Woodley testified Dow's lawsuit did not bias the investigation, but Dow disagreed and recounted that the civil lawsuit involved mishandling of evidence, that the lawsuit went to an inherent bias by law enforcement, and that it would be helpful for the jury to hear. Despite those arguments, the district court restricted Dow's questioning of Town Lieutenant Berukowitz, finding that Dow's inquiry was not relevant, would confuse the jury, and, if allowed, would be more prejudicial than probative. In this appeal, Dow also argued that the district court abused its discretion by admitting improperly authenticated text messages and by admitting improperly noticed emails. Dow told the court that because these errors were not harmless, reversal is warranted. After hearing the evidence, the Nevada Supreme Court agreed with Dow's assertions. On June 30th, the court ordered Dow's judgment of conviction reversed and remanded the matter back to the district court for a new trial. At Monday's hearing, Jonathan Nelson made a request to withdraw from the case and allow a public defender to handle Dow's defense at retrial. But Judge Lane asked that Nelson continue in his role, noting his familiarity with the case. Dow was originally taken in custody and charged back in 2013, but it was more than 5 years before he would go to trial. Barring any scheduling conflicts due to COVID-19, Dow's new trial starts February 2nd.
All right, thanks so much, Brad, for that report. And don't grab that remote. When we return, we'll tell you about all the big bucks being spent on the presidential campaign trail. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, news you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, the Biden-Harris ticket is outspending the Trump campaign in the race for the White House. And Chinese e-commerce company JD.com and revenue well above expectations. Angela Miles has more in today's Business First Brief.
Topping our news, a big week for the Democrats with a national convention underway. Vice President Joe Biden, along with running mate Kamala Harris, are expected to accept the Democratic nomination Thursday night. CNBC reports last week the Biden team outspent President Trump's team in Facebook advertising for the first time since early June. Biden's ad spending was $6.1 million compared to Trump's $4.6 million. According to the New York Times, President Trump's team plans a major digital ad buy during the days of the Democratic convention. A sign China's business world is turning around. JD.com, the China-based e-commerce company, reports its profit and revenue are well above expectations. Revenue rose to $28 billion. The stock jumped on that news.
Thanks so much, Angela. And there's a conservation alert issued through tomorrow, and you should prepare for the possibility of rotating electric outages. A persistent record-breaking heat wave in Nevada, California, and surrounding areas in the western states is causing a strain on supplies, and consumers should be prepared for the possibility of rolling outages during the late afternoon and early evening through Wednesday. There is not a sufficient amount of energy to meet the high amount demand during the heat wave. Consumers are urged to lower energy use during the most critical times of day, between 3 p.m. and 10 p.m., when temperatures remain high and solar production is falling due to the sun setting. Please set your air conditioning thermostat to 78 degrees, and if health permits, please defer use of major appliances. Turn off any unnecessary lights in your home and unplug unused electrical devices. Close any blinds and drapes and use fans whenever possible. You can also limit your refrigeration by making sure that that door remains closed at the most critical times of day. Make sure that you also take steps to prepare for the conservation alert by doing all of the following before 3 p.m. Pre-cool your homes and lower your thermostat, again, to 72 degrees. 78 is optimal. And you also need to be sure that you charge any electric vehicles that you may have, and make sure that you turn off any electrical devices like laptops and computers when they are not in use. Be sure to make sure that your pool pumps are running at proper times and that they are not running during critical times
That looks
morning or
perfect.
late afternoon. And whenever students return